Hi, this is Lady Lex UK and this is a Dreams Tools tutorial. We're working our way through Sculpt mode. We've done all the ones in the Tools section, so all of these have been done, so if you want to check those out if you haven't seen them before. We're now going to work on the Guide section, and the first tool we have is Surface Snap. So click that on, and you take your desired shape, and as you hover close to the shape, it will snap to the surface. As you can see, the default for snapping to the surface is sort of halfway in. Now this is very good for embossing and engraving. So if I put this into smear mode, so I just press L1 and triangle just to change it to smear mode, and press the X button, and then I can emboss on the surface at the same level like that. If I go into remove mode, scope into the object, and I now have an engraving tool, and this is very good for creating texture and things on objects. Now one thing to be aware of with this, let's if I could draw a circle here, and then I take all the filling out there like that, that looks fine. If I draw a circle like this and let go, and then decide I want the middle out, and I then do this, you can end up with a bit of a mess. You can see there's a hole. That's because the place where I've already carved it out, once you try and do it a second time, it goes one lower because it's surface snapping to the surface. And so if you want to cut something out and fill it out, then you must try and do it in one go without letting go of the X button. Otherwise you end up with a complete mess like that. So embossing and engraving, that's what it's for. It's very, very useful, and you can create all sorts of lovely texture with regular patterns, etc. on your object, and that's very useful. But I can hear you say, this isn't surface snapping, it's not snapped to the surface, it's halfway in. I don't want that. I want it to be on the surface so that I can make this bigger. Right, the way to do that is go L1 and square and change the grip. So at the moment our grip is center, the center of the cube. So let's change it to the top. So you press R2 on that top center, and now you can see it has moved into my cube here, and as you can see, you've got to be careful. It's doing the same, you got that same effect as it comes up onto the surface. You got to be very careful, but it is at the surface level now. Let's play about with it again. So we go into grip mode. Let's go underneath it and grab, if we can. I might have to do another cube actually, because once you've done that it's really difficult. So to come out, give yourself a new cube. Once you've done it on the top there and it's surface snapped, it's really difficult to get hold of the bottom one. Right, there we go. So add and subtract. We've added a grip on that bottom piece now. So now it's surface snapping to the bottom of the object. And this is ideal for things like bricks. There we go. I haven't done that very well, but there we go. You can see. We now surface snapped. So where you grab the object will make a huge difference to where it surface snaps your object. And play about with this. You can learn all sorts of new techniques for embossing and engraving that creates texture, creates shape. It's very, very useful. There's nothing really much more you can say about this. It says drag row. that just drags this row backwards and forwards. So it's nothing to do with the object at all. L2 to rotate. So I can press L2 to rotate. There we go. So you can rotate your object, and you can probably do it while you're scoped. Right, so if you hold on L2 while you're dragging it across, you can get really interesting curvy effects. Bit hard to tell what it's doing, but there we go. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. You can resize it exactly the same, but this is nothing to do with the surface snap itself. It's just you're rotating your object and smearing it in. There we go. I've got lots of worm casts there. So that's what it's for. It's incredibly useful. I'll just clear that. It's incredibly useful. I find it is particularly good. I like to use the sphere. And if you don't use surface snap and try to carve things out, it can be a little bit more difficult. So for example, let's say I wanted a spotted pattern and I didn't have surface snap on, and I've got to go in with the thing. I end up with some deeper than others. It's really difficult to keep it even. This is so with surface snap, it's even every single time, and I don't need to worry about the angle or anything like that. It's just in it goes and it's fine. So, but you can make it deeper, like I said. So at the moment, let's grab it there. I think with the sphere you're a bit limited to where you can grab it. Well, let's grab it on the top. There we go. And the top is just, you can just see the surface. So you can make really deep holes by grabbing it at the top as opposed to the bottom. There we go. That's very interesting. So there's the difference between the two. You can see that. So that's its normal grab position, and that's it grabbed at the top. So it's worth experimenting with. Right. Thanks for watching. That was a quick one, and I'll catch you in your dreams.